Hi everybody, welcome to Polinar number 2, Handsprings and Deadlifts. We're doing slightly 1980s feel with our warm-up today. So if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. We'll be going live very shortly. So again, welcome. My name is Douglas Stevens Jarrett. We've got a beautiful sunny day here, if you can't tell by the sun in my face. I have my lovely assistant Hannah with me as always. So make sure you've got your slouches on, you've got your 1980s vibe going, maybe some big hair, leg warmers, and a nice big sweatband. We're going to be doing Betty Davis Eyes as our warm-up for today. To all of our handsprings. So, I see we've got one like already, so we can get into it. So as I said, this is Polinar number 2 for Confessions of a Pole Dancer. We're going through handsprings and deadlifts today. I'm going to keep moving out of the way of the sun. As I said, it's really bright and sunny here. So, hi, how you doing? Welcome along. So, if you say hello, we'll say hello back. We sometimes get name pronunciation right, so if you want to do some phonetics for us, if we can't get your name right, that would be absolutely amazing. But yes, without further ado, let's get ready. We're going to cue up our first song, which is Betty Davis Eyes. You get to watch my ass move. So this time, rather than watching Hannah's ass, you're going to watch mine, and Hannah's going to face you, and we're probably going to talk a little bit more so we don't get stung by Facebook for breaching copyright on music. So we'll have to do a lot more talking over the music. So get yourselves ready, make sure you've got a drink of water, and we'll get our warm-up happening, and then we'll get into our handsprings. So I'll go cue up the music, get yourselves ready, we'll be back in 2. Alright, Betty Davis Eyes. Here we go. We're gonna walk side to side. Really push out to the butt.
Her hair is hollow gold.
Keep it on a single tap.
Her hands are never cold.
Pop through the arm, dropping the shoulder. Switch. Make sure you're really throwing that 85 in.
She got Betty Davis eyes.
Now we're going to go to doubles. We're going to throw our arms back on each double.
She's precocious, and she knows just what it takes to make it grow lush. She got glitter gobble, stand off side.
Now we're going to bring it up, arms up, and we take top. Butt side to side, arch the back down as you walk through. Take it to an A-frame as we walk it back up. Double tap side to side. Switch the shoulders. Now we're going to swing the hips. Now we're going up to a double kick. And 1 kick, 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 kick. Hannah's smiling, so she's enjoying it. Good. Now we're going to be going up and down, up and down. Now we're out for our shoulders, we're going to cup up top, here, and we're going to pull it in and back. Switch sides. Bring it up, full arm around, twist, really stretching on that shoulder. Hopefully you've all got Betty Davis eyes for Hina right now. Switch sides. Hopefully Facebook doesn't pick up on this music either. Good, we're just going to take our wrists, we're going to roll through our wrists here. We're going to be doing a lot of work on our wrists. I'm going to turn the volume down ever so slightly so I don't feel like I'm yelling at you. Good, so the album we're playing today is our Flash Dance album. Now we're going to stretch back. You can keep yourself warm by rolling through the body. Switch sides. So we've got 10 of you watching, so hi everybody. Feel free to give us some likes. Say hello, we'll try and go through the video feeds as we go. Now we're going to drop down and we're going to push into our frog squat. Hopefully you can see Hina in the back. She's going to drop her knees down. Good, so we're in our frog squat, we're putting our wrist through. Good, switching sides. I'm trying to read the comments. So hello, feel free to give us more loves. The more loves you see on there, the more we'll pay attention. As I said, it's all about handsprings. So we want you to be nice and warm through here. We're going to come through and we're going to stretch in behind. So I'm going to turn around so you can see Hina's doing the modification. Grab through. And then with Hina doing her modification, push down from the top. If you can't, grab your fingers. Now we're going to switch sides. Good. Now Hina will be doing all your modifications for you that are the slightly more basic version. You might see Chase pop into the background as well. So Chase, our little Pomeranian that's in the studio today. So if you see him, feel free to give him some love and give him a bit of a shout out. We like our little rescue dogs. Alright, shake it all off. Hopefully you're all stretched and warmed up. If you don't have a spotter with you, please stick to the low level of the movements that we're doing. We're going to go through true grip, cup grip and twisted grip in our handsprings today. So there's going to be lots of variations for everyone to do. I'll explain all the grips as we go and give you any tips and tricks for getting the lift. Can everyone hear us loud and clear? Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us loud and clear. Thumbs up. And yes, thank you, our socks. So matching socks and matching slouchies. Awesome, so we got some thumbs up there so that you guys can hear us loud and clear. Fantastic. Now we're just going to go up and we're going to get ready to do our first grip. And the first grip we're going to do is what we call a true grip. So coming up to the pole, we're going to take our arm down, holding firmly below. We're going to reach up into a handshake grip. That reaches us up and we're firmly grabbing. Now we are both facing you so you can see our hand position. We're taking our high hand leg, which is this leg here, and we're crossing it over the body. We're going to swing it up and bring it back. As we go up, we're going to pop up through the top shoulder. Good. I'm going to turn that down so I don't feel like I'm yelling again. While Hannah keeps practicing. Now, do we need to see any zoomed in on the hand positions? We're going to zoom in and show you the hand positioning. So coming into the hand positioning here, so you can see there we have our top hand in our full true grip, bottom hand with one finger pointed down, chase in the background. So coming through, we're engaging over and we're lifting through the top shoulder. Nicely done. So that gets us our progressions up for our handspring and our true grip. So where we want to aim to for that is when we're in our true grip here, we want to lift and start to tuck the body up. You're pulling through the top shoulder, so you're engaging to the top shoulder, bicep and lat and pec as you push down through the bottom arm. When we pull up, we're engaging through the body, so again turning around so you can see, we go up, swing and start to lift. Take a foot straight up to the ceiling and then bring it down. So it's all about the lift here. So that's our true grip deadlift. Now if we're going into our cup grip, so with a cup grip it's the same positioning. We have the bottom hand with our trigger finger down, our top hand is more bent and it is cupped. And again we come across the body and we lift. We're pulling through, swing the leg up. So your progressions for coming through are swinging the leg and starting to lift through the shoulder. So you start to do your pop and tuck, pop and tuck. Now one thing with a cup grip, you have to make sure that you're really secure in your cup grip before you go over. If you're not secure, you're potentially going to fall on your face. So this is more of the advanced movement on here. So again, showing you that movement. Also, this is a really good way of practicing for your iron cross lift. If we do a slight swing into it, up. Good. Now, as you can see, Hannah there is doing her Ayasha in the background from it. So there we go. The question for you later on, the safest grip for now is your true grip. So that's a really good point there. The cup grip is for your advanced to elite pole dancers. For strength, I want you to literally use the true grip or a twisted grip. So our next grip, which is our more basic grip, is a twisted grip, but it can put a lot of pressure on the wrist. So you want to make sure that you've got a really good strong wrist and a twisted grip. So we'll go into the hand positioning for a twisted and I will zoom us in on here. So with our twisted grip, see there the hand comes around and it's pulling through. We've got all of this engagement through here on the wrist. However, it can put a lot of pressure through on the shoulder and the rotator cuff. Hi Hannah, nice close up on your face. Hi Hannah. Again, full break it down the bottom. So we'll take Hannah into that position and let her pull up into her Ayasha with her twisted grip. Perfect. So there we go. She's still using a bit of momentum. Wonderful. Alright, so now going into just doing our straight lift from twisted. So when we do our straight lift, we're just literally going to tuck and curl. You're again engaging up through the body. Now you want to take the feet off the ground first and use the core, activate your core as you roll through into your twisted grip. So again showing you the same movement, but I'll do it from behind. Coming in and up. So it's much easier when you're doing a straight lift to tuck it through. Now Catherine, twisted grips feels like you're turning even with a static pole. Now that's just to do with the fact that your grip is not strong enough and you're not doing enough pulling through it. Try switching to a true grip for now and then go to a twisted grip. True grip's a little bit safer, and allows you to have more control over the movement that you're doing. It's a very good point there, Catherine. Alright, so as I said there with our twisted as opposed to our true grip. So going through our true grip, when we're doing our lift and our true grip, again we engage, tuck and lift. So you want to tuck through the body, activate through the shoulders and pull through. So when we're talking about handsprings and deadlifts, it's all about the control and making sure that you're doing everything you can to activate properly. So again, isolate the muscle groups and tuck in. Try controlling first. You can see Henna in the background. Henna is there doing lifts. So we're just conditioning all of these movements now. It's not something you want to swing into yet. You can swing and do a momentum to get you over, but ideally you want to have the strength to lift through it. And I'm just looking at Amber. Do you turn that bottom inward to lock it, or I'll turn the bottom arm? Okay, so we're not really locking when we go up. So when we have our arm around and it's wrist forward to the body. So there we go, Amber, your wrist forward to the body. Try and keep your arms bent. So that way we're activating using muscles rather than actually trying to lock our joints and putting pressure on the joints. I'm a big one for not locking joints. I don't know how other people feel on that situation, but I prefer to activate muscles rather than rely on the actual joints. Now, Marina, any tips on balancing once you're upside down? Alright, so once you're upside down, that is to do with activating your entire body. So getting the balance point means you don't stop the movement. The movement from lifting and going all the way upside down, you have to activate from core all the way down to your toes. So your balance point is making sure you activate. So to stop you from falling over, you literally have to activate. Squeeze the glutes, engage the core, push through the quads, hamstrings, calves, toes, and keep the shoulders activated. Try and keep pulling into the pole to stop you from falling out. That'll keep the shoulders activated and make sure that you're activating from fingers to toes. Alright, so again, I'll show you what I mean about the activating, and we'll do a demo on activating versus non-activating and swing versus lift. So if I'm going to swing into a handspring and not activate, it's going to turn quite sloppy. So if I swing into it and not really activating and then pulling in. So it's pretty hard to demo a bad form when you're used to literally engaging. However, when you lift and engage, you're tucking and controlling the body movement and going up. You can see there Henna's doing her lift, she's still engaging. If you're shaking, you're engaging enough. If you're falling off, then you're not engaging enough. So again, lifting into the movement, lift, tuck, and extend. I'm going to slide down slightly so that I've got that engagement. Pull into the pole, looking at the pole, and you can see the motion that you have. Alright. Any other questions while we're there? Okay. Perfect. Now, we've got what we call a cartwheel mount. So a cartwheel mount is literally taking hand and foot and we step and turn through the body. So this is a really good one for conditioning and getting yourselves ready. So we step in. So inside arm is going up, inside foot is going forwards. That's the one we're pushing off. We push as we activate through the body, hand and arm goes down, we grab and switch legs, rotating the pelvis up. So the pelvis tilts and you watch your foot as it goes up to the ceiling. So you're swinging through the body. So when we do our cartwheel mount, we go step, push, lift, and come up. Step, push, lift. So again, that's about making sure that you're trying it in the safest way. First, build up the strength rather than going over. So getting yourself 90 is a really effective way of building up the strength. If you're going over into a cartwheel mount, set up, over, and push. Engage through the body, and come down. Good. So, any questions on going through? Oh yes, and yeah, Chase rolled in through the video just there slightly. So, any other questions on when we're going through with our cartwheel and our handspring mounts? Anyone? Do we want to see any close-ups of Henna doing it in slightly lower variations? We'll do it anyway. Oh, Henna's coming in with Chase, so there we go. So hi everybody, this is Chase. Chase is one of our rescue dogs that we look after. So he's a 7-year-old rescue puppy, so yes, you can give him lots of love. He's very cute and very fluffy. Alright, so we'll take Henna in and we'll do some of our ways of doing it, moving into it in our lower forms, and then I'm going to show you some ways to spot it. So if you're training at home, this will give you an opportunity to teach someone how to spot you in the movement. Ah yes, and we are on spinning poles. So we haven't locked our poles down to static today because we're still using them on spin. So you can do them on spinning or static. I prefer to do it on static generally, but getting ready for our new term. Alright, so we'll do the close-ups on Henna on our different formats. So coming in, we'll move Henna in. So, oh, make sure my finger's not over the camera. So we're going to get Henna to come in and we're going to do our cartwheel mount. And you can see there she's not going all the way over, she's just going to come into her lift. Fantastic. So we've got lots of engagement coming up through the shoulder. She's pulling up through the shoulder as she pushes through the bottom arm. That allows her to use her body and her core, using her legs to pull her out sideways. Going from a back view, pulling up, and again, using that shoulder. I'll put her into position, and you're pulling up through the shoulder there, and keeping the arm bent. Try not to extend too far. Keep it nice and bent so you're engaging using those pole guns. So going into a nice close version there. Perfect. Oh, slight bum graze. Sorry, Henna. Alright, so now I'm going to move Henna onto my pole, and I'm going to show you how to spot someone from the back. So, moving across, we still have our 80s music going. So, I'm going to turn Henna around so you can see what I'm doing sideways. I'm not going to grab her like this through the hips. I'm twisting my grip. I'm going like this so my hands can move up with her. You can just hold it and push her up, but it's about making sure you've got the strength and stability on there. So she's swinging in, she's going to do her cartwheel mount again into her handspring. Actually no, we'll do a deadlift. We'll do our straight deadlift. Doing a slight swing, I'm twisting the grip, pushing her up and over. Again, spotting her through these hips. If anything goes wrong and Henna's going to fall, grab her and squeeze. That allows her to put her feet to the pole. It means you're pushing your whole weight, getting a nice good stance. Henna's getting a lot of weight there on her because I'm making her hold. We're holding through there, and you see there the twist is there. So you can push her up, you can pull her back. Try not to get your face into that position, but put the shoulder in. Pulling it back up, and then coming down out of the movement, we're back into that position there. So that allows your spotter to hold you. Chase chilling on the pole. Yes, we will do Chase in a couple of pole moves. He does like the pole, so it's quite good. So with all of these spotting techniques, make sure that your spotter is strong enough to hold you. Make sure that they've got you. If you don't have a spotter, make sure you have safety mats. Make sure you're gripped, you don't have moisturizer on. Make sure that someone is around you, so don't practice alone doing these kind of things where you can fall on your head. Make sure that someone's either in the room or can hear you scream if you fall to the floor. Ideally, you're not going to fall to the floor, and ideally you would have a spotter. I get that some of you train from home, so make sure that if you are training from home and you don't have access to a studio, save up some of these moves that you might want to get to if you get an international workshop, or you travel once a month to a studio, or get a private lesson with an instructor that knows what they're doing. As always, safety first. Alright, so handsprings and mounts onto handsprings. Does anyone have any questions or any more information they want on those kind of movements? No? Not yet. So that's our half hour. We've done half an hour so far. I'm gonna put on some heels now and show you how to do the same movements in heels. It's very similar to the movement we did last week, and it is completely doable. You want to make sure though that if you're doing it in high heels, that you're doing it safely, and you make sure your landing is safe. Yes, and always safety. So I'll grab another pair of shoes, because Hannah broke a pair of mine last night. Or was it last night? Yes, it was last night. But that's okay. It's fine, because you break heels all the time. You just put a bit more glue in and they're all good. Hannah's gonna go get her shoes. Alright, so again, I'm gonna rock with my big 9s. And should I make another comment about real men wear 9s? Mine sit in the windowsill in the sun, and it keeps them nice and tight, just for my own preference on using them. Your mounts, when you're coming down, you want to make sure that you're doing your movements very carefully and you're really placing your feet. And as I said before, real men wear 9s, and if a real man can't wear 9s, well, he's not a real pole dancer, but enough on that. So, going into our lifts and doing our movements in our big shoes. We want to make sure that when we're coming down, it's a nice controlled descent, and that you're really placing your foot. Try not to land on the heel, otherwise you can roll side to side. So coming in, we're going to go into a handspring, and I'm going to handspring into my cartwheel mount so you can see it in heels, and I'm going to swing up into it in this instance with a true grip. Hannah is going to do her twisted grip, and we're both going to go into an Iasha and come out. Now coming out, landing on the ball of your foot, trying to control your dismount. It's really important that you know where your feet are and what you're doing. Now if I'm doing just a lift through my deadlift, again it's the same movement, tuck and go into it safely. So coming again into my true grip, I'm lifting up, tuck, roll, slide slightly down so I don't hit the ceiling, up into my pencil, Iasha, and dismount safely, landing on the balls of my feet. Alright, and yes, always heels. So all of these movements can be done in flats, in heels, on stilts, in sneakers, whatever you want to do, because there is no bias in pole. Sexy can be strong, strong can be sexy. When you try and pigeonhole what we do or try and whitewash the history of where it came from, you're doing an injustice to the pioneers of pole. Hannah's now going to do a little bit of playing, and I'll grab Chase and we'll do a little, like, I don't know, Superman layback move with him, and see what he's keen to do, or he might just be sitting there sleeping. So there's another good bit of little Chase. So say, hi Chase, hi, hi. Spotting for fongies. We can do another video on spotting for fongies, and do that as another live video so you can safely get in and out of a fongie. I'll do that with one of the boys actually, so we can also show you how to spot a male as opposed to spotting a female, because obviously we have junk where girls don't have junk. And you want to be safety first, especially with boys. Alright, so now I'm going to do some stretching down for these shoulders. So we're going to get into some shoulder stretches, and then we'll also do some leg stretches as well. So we'll move the camera down once we get to the floor. So making sure we're getting our shoulders stretched off for these first. We're going to be turning in on our shoulders, hand at shoulder height, and then turn away from the body. Keeping the wrists nice and straight, try not to grip for dear life. If you have hypermobile shoulders, reach higher and turn. Most people will sit comfortably at hand to shoulder height and turn on these shoulders. Really stretch up through the pectoral muscle. You'll feel it across the top of the shoulder, back through the wrist and through the back of the tricep. Now we're also going to do a modification on this. We put our forearm to the pole as well. So putting our forearm to the pole, elbow, wrist, and again turn. So you want to turn through that body again. This is going to give you more of a stretch down to the back of the lat. Turning through the obliques and the hips. Trying not to put the arse out. Keep the body nice and straight as you turn. You can take one foot forward as Hina does, and that takes more of a stretch down through the obliques as well. So we do this on both sides of the body. Coming to the other side. Open and stretch with the extended one first, Hina. And again, most people should be here at shoulder height. If you're hypermobile, bring it up higher to roll on the shoulder. Good, really keep the body square, or take same arm as foot forward to get more of an oblique stretch with it as well. Coming into our forearm, turn through the forearm, again body square, and you're going to take a foot forward, go to the oblique as well. Good. Yeah. It's a really nice one on the shoulder. Awesome. So we'll break it down to the floor. Coming down to the floor now, we're going to do our wrists. Oh, there's the crotch shot for you all tonight. Tonight and today. So we're going to start with our wrists first. We're going to go into what I call our prayer pose. So come in, bring the hands up to prayer pose, and then rotate the fingers into the chest. We're then going to push forward. So bring the elbows up to shoulder height, fingers in line with the neck, and push forward. Try and keep the palms together. Try not to open up. Palms together as much as you possibly can. Then we're going to rotate up and bring them forward. We're going to rotate down, and we're just going to roll our fingers forward here. You don't have to get heels to the ground of the hands, but you can try. This is to stretch up through the forearms. When we're doing anything that's handspringy or deadlifty, it's a lot of forearms. And we're just going to hold that there. Try and keep everything for about 15 seconds. 15 minutes would be a really big stretch. We should try that one day, that would be fun. Going back the other way, we're putting palm down and stretching it through. And yes, Chase, the best pole dancer ever. Yeah, he takes a lot more than, everyone else likes him a lot more than they like us. And yes, Chase has done burlesque routines with me, with another one of our Circo dogs, Sprocket, who's another little Pomeranian. So that's quite fun when you've got an actual live animal on stage. We used to have a completely trained rabbit, but unfortunately my staffy and my rabbit didn't get on very well, and my rabbit became lunch. Now we're going to go into our pigeon stretch, because that's a really nice fun one and allows us to go back through and deal with our hamstrings and our glutes, especially from opening up through our hips. So we'll go sideways into our pigeon stretch. Coming in, making sure that the heel is going over the body. So Hina's sideways, so you can see her there. I'm going to go forward so you can see how I lower my hip down. So the heel is in line with my hip, leg nice and straight. Me and Hina are toe touching, and I'm trying not to hit a pole as I sink down into it. So Hina's sunk right down into it. Avoid rocking to the side. If you've got space and you're up here, keep it up there until you can sink into the movement rather than rocking. So we sink down into the movement, then we can drop forward, dropping our chest to the floor, and then relaxing here. So we just literally relax and hold into the motion. Now, when you've got the flexibility, you take the arms wide and you drop the chest all the way down, palms to the ceiling, and you can like be weird with your fingers with your friend. Rolling up. We're going to reach through and try and grab the foot behind. So, same arm as foot, grab the foot. Pull that foot down into the glute. If you've got that flexibility there and it's matching, turn through the shoulders and look at the foot. Then bring the foot into, hold on this off, bring the foot into the armpit or foot into the head and hold your balance point. Roll it down and we'll switch sides. Again, sinking down into your movement, try not to rock, and then forwards and open up. I'm currently touching Hina's thigh, so I might tickle her ever so slightly to make it really awkward. My back looks really arched there, and that's only because I've sunk down onto squishy man parts. So slight pain there. Pushing up. We're going to grab that foot again, push it into the heel, into the butt, or toes into armpit, or tilt and push toes into head. Shake it off, roll it out, and thank you very much for watching Polinar number 2, Handsprings and Deadlifts. If you've got any feedback for us, let us know. If you do something different, please comment below. Show us a video of what you do, because we always like to see and advance our knowledge. Critique is always amazing. So this is just my experience as a pole dancer. It isn't gospel and I'm not preaching, it's just how I do it. So feel free to give us all the feedback you want. I'm Douglas Stevens Jarrett. You can find me on YouTube and also on my little profile. My lovely assistant Hina, and Chase is back to being asleep on the couch because he's lazy and that's what he does. Awesome, so from us here at Circo Acrofit Studios, thank you and happy Thursday night and Friday day for us. See you guys, bye.